It's Lady Sidonia. I'm so sorry that it's a little dark in here, but this is the best place I could get at this moment. And it doesn't have really great lighting. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about something today. So it's going to be a really quick talk, but I wanted to kind of motivate people to really going forward with all those goals that they have and all of those dreams that they want to fulfill. But, sometimes it can really seem unreachable. A lot of the things, especially in these hard economic times where, a lot of things that you need to do cost a lot of money, cost a lot of time and investment when people have children and, they're trying to go to school and work. And we're basically under the thumb of the government. We're under the thumb of our jobs. And we all are living basically in slavery. And I want to help people get out of slavery. It's been about 5 years since I've been out of slavery, so to say. And being out of slavery is just understanding your true self and not being constantly making decisions based off of your false self. I will be going into a lot more about the false self and the ego and how to conquer it, but which is my major goal is to allow people to understand about really being your true self and what are the things that are a part of the false self that you need to check and put in its place, because the false self isn't going anywhere. It's the first thing you need to know. It's not going anywhere. It's dealing with it and understanding it and checking it when you need to. It's always going to be there because it's a part of you, and it was put there to help you deal with pain and to prevent you from being in situations that's going to cause you to become to confront your biggest fear, that one thing that you just don't want anybody to say, and you run from it. And we do it, we self-sabotage and all that. So I'm hoping that with these talks that I'll be doing, it'll start to open up people's eyes that you're not hopeless, you're not alone, and you're not the only one who's going through the same thing and having those same thoughts of self-doubt and denial and all that. It's an everyday thing because it's a collective delusion that we're a part of. So I want to talk to you about the first part of really moving forward, and that's really acknowledging that there is an ego. A lot of people don't really know that there's this thing in your head that tells you things to do, to feel, to be, and it's not you. That's the first thing that you have to understand, is that your emotions and your fears, they are not you. That's the biggest lie that the ego will ever tell you, is that it is you. If you sit down and you listen to yourself sometimes, you can tell it's not you, because you really be like, no, that's not the truth. You got some people who will say, I'm not appreciated, but they just received an award from their boss, in appreciation for their work. So you got to look at the facts. The ego is going to tell you all types of lies, because its only job is to protect you from doing anything. So instead of it, being constructive and trying to get you to do things that will be more positive, it just doesn't want you to do anything. So that's why the ego will prevent you from moving forward, fulfilling your goals, becoming a success, and understanding your failures. It'll completely keep you from being able to do that, because its only job is to stop you from, being confronted with that one fear that you just don't want anybody to say out their mouth. And we all have that one thing that if somebody said it out loud to us, it would crush us. So we all got it. And this is the genesis of why we self-sabotage, because of that one fear. We all got it. Okay. We all have it. So this little short video is all about just acknowledging the fact that the ego is not you. And you have to really realize that and get it down into your soul that the ego is not you. It is separate from you. So all those feelings, when you feeling depressed, people, they always say, I'm depressed. They say, I don't feel well. I don't want to do this. I'm lazy. I'm, not motivated. No, because if you had to make your choice, you wouldn't be those things. So if you don't want to do those things, if you want to be somebody who's, productive and doesn't procrastinate, then why don't you? It's really simple. If that is not who you are, then who is it? Who is it? It's the ego. Because it ain't you. Because obviously you don't like it. Why would we be doing something that we don't want to do? You know what I mean? Why would we continue to procrastinate when we really want to be a success? And that's because the ego is driving our car. This body is our car, and we have to decide who's driving it. And a lot of times, 90% of the time in this world, the ego is driving a person's car. And my ego drove my car for a long time. I had 17 years of depression, telling people the same story over and over and over again, hoping for a different solution that was going to make me feel better, when the whole time I had the power to feel better myself. I didn't need nobody to pray for me. I didn't need anybody to heal me. I didn't need anybody to do anything. All I had to do was be my true self. The thing is that how can I ask for something? I can't ask God for something if my intentions don't line up with what I'm asking for. So people say, I want to be wealthy and I want to have money, but yet your intentions in your heart is to do as less work as possible. That doesn't line up with what you're asking. To be wealthy. In order to be wealthy, you cannot be lazy. In order to be wealthy, you have to put work in. If what you really want is to just chill and relax, then ask for that. It's nothing wrong with wanting that. Just ask for it. Don't ask for something that your intentions are not lining up with, because that's what happens when prayers don't get answered and people feeling like God's not listening. And it's your intentions. Everybody always says God sees your heart. That's what your intent is. So you can pray all day long for money, but if your intention or your false self is so strong that all you can see is poverty and you can't see past where you are now, you are not going to get the answers to your prayers like you want. Your intentions have to mirror it. So remember that the ego is telling you over and over again to not do something. It's going to beat you down. It's going to literally throw things in your face that if somebody said it on the street, you would tear them up. Why would you let your ego tell you the same things? Like I said in my post on bitchmagic.com on Tell Your Insecurities to Shut the Hell Up, I literally had a I was in the shower and I was having a conversation, and it just kept on saying, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're never going to be nothing, your husband's going to leave you, and all that. And I'm sitting there and I was so enthralled in this inner conversation that the water was just running. I hadn't even done anything. So I finally realized that I hadn't even done anything, and I was in this whole conversation. And then I finished and I got out, and then the conversation started again. See? Look at you. I'm looking in the mirror, and this ego in my head said, look at you. Look at you, see? And then I said to myself, well, look at me. I don't look that goddamn bad. I was really confused. I'm like, how is this thing telling me that I'm ugly? But I really don't believe that. My true self doesn't believe that. So I finally looked at it, and when I say, guys, I really looked at it and said, bitch, shut the hell up. Just shut up. I'm so tired of you talking shit. You always talking shit. Always trying to tell somebody what they ain't going to do. Basically, I talked to the mirror like it was some stranger on the street that kept on talking shit. And I told her, like, look, you gonna have to shut the hell up, because I got things to do. I have goals that I want to reach, and it's not gonna happen if you keep talking shit. So either get in line or we're gonna have this conversation over and over again. Now, guys, what that did was it made my ego real. And it gave me power to say something and power to stop the thoughts from happening. You can't win that battle in here, because that's the ego's domain. It's going to just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. The moment that you speak out loud to it, it's like, you know that that's not you. Uh-oh. And the ego's going to fight you. Now it's going to throw all types of stuff up in your face. See, you look, you done gained 2 pounds. And because I'm on a weight loss grid, you done gained 2 pounds. But that doesn't work anymore, because I know that when the facts are, when you work out, you will fluctuate, especially if you're using weightlifting and all that. All these things happen. I know that I need to look at my clothes. So that no longer affects me and is no longer an emotional trigger. We're going to talk about emotional triggers on another post. But I'm just telling you guys, get into the mirror and acknowledge the ego and tell it to shut the hell up if it's telling you things that you know aren't true about yourself. If you're not lazy, then don't be lazy. If you're not somebody who overeats, then don't overeat. Because if you are telling yourself that you are not these things, then who is it? Obviously, it's not you. So tell it, just like you would tell any other person, you need to sit down because you are hindering my progress. Guys, I hope that this little talk was a blessing to you. Look for more. God bless you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Lady Sidonia for you. Bye-bye.